What's up, guys? Welcome to Primetime Poulton. Today, I am joined by Marcus and Anthony from City Chronicles. What's up, guys? How are you doing?
What's going on, brother? Mark? How you doing, brother?
Oh man, I was talking to Marcus before we went live. I'm struggling. I gave up caffeine this week. I'm on day 3, and the head's starting to go down, but it's rough.
It is, man. I kicked sugar one time, and I'm telling you, it was like a
Did it kick you back?
It was like a low grade opiate kick.
Yeah,
I know Marcus knows about kicking opiates, but it was rough, dude. Like you get like the shakes and shit. Your legs hurt. You're like laying in the bed. And you look like Pookie from New Jack City and shit. Like, the sugar, it just be calling me, man. It be calling me, you know. I can hear Captain Crunch in the other room. You know, he's talking, bro. Come get me.
Yeah, no. I had a wellness checkup with my doctor, and he was like, man, your blood pressure is pretty high. And I've been on medication for blood pressure since I was in my 30s, and I'm already at the top dose he can give me. He was like, we're gonna have to start thinking about like adding new medication. And I was like, oh, do we have to? And he goes, well, I'll give you 6 weeks to get it down. He was like, do you have a lot of stress in your life? I was like, I don't have any stress in my life. and I was like, I go to the gym 4 days a week. And he was like, what about caffeine? And I was like, well, here's the thing, doc. I usually go through like 2 big gulps a day when I'm at work, just to keep like my energy up, because I'm usually up early in the morning. I'm on my feet all day at work. Every now and then I need a pick-me-up. So I get that big gulp from 7-Eleven and I'm good to go. So he was like, yeah, that's probably a good place to start. So I'm cutting all caffeine out. We'll see how it goes.
It's a tough one, man.
Good luck. Didn't work out for me.
Yeah. I'll keep people posted. But we got Mr. Von Stugel in the chat. What's up?
What's going on, brother?
We got Amanda B. She wants to know where you're at, Anthony.
Well, yeah, sweetie. Good to see you, man.
So we're going to talk City Chronicles. I've actually been familiar with this title for quite a while, but before we get into that, I want to, if you guys don't mention, I'd like to just bring up Sea Dog and codename Kill Switch real quick.
Of course.
So we're in demand right now. We're only in demand until May 15th. We're currently at $25,000. At $30,000, we unlock our final stretch goal, and that is a print of what people are calling the Poultonverse. All my titles: Graveyard Shift, U.S. Assassin, Viking Wolf, and Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch. And that'll be a jam piece between Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch artist Clint Holinsky, U.S. Assassin artist Mike McMahon, and Viking Wolf artist Renzo Rodriguez. So I would really love to see that happen. And we have about 17 days left to get there. We'll see if it happens, but I already have some of the stretch goals coming in, getting ready to fulfill this. Just want to highlight our featured tier, which is the Triple Threat. It comes with Clint's cover to book 2, as well as this incredible Dan Fraga cover to book 2, and our reprint of book 1 featuring the black and white line art by John Malin. Also, if you have a little money to spend, we have the $200 Babe box, and that comes with everything Clint and I have done for Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch. That's all 3 covers to book 1, both covers to book 2, all the hash can and all the trading cards from the first campaign, a sketch from Clint, a sketch from me, all the stretch goals, and Sea Dog Pop Socket. So definitely worth the money. If you have a little extra to spend, I would highly recommend it.
Very nice. I can't wait to get mine. Can you explain to me what a pop socket is, though?
Sure. It is. Actually, I might have one on me.
Marcus really wants these. He told me about it.
So it goes on the back of your phone. It's like a little handle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's got 6 a.m. Comics artwork of Sea Dog on the back. So
gotcha.
Really
wasn't
nice.
It bad? Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah. So let's talk Justice City Chronicles. Well, first, let's talk about you guys. How did you both get involved in the comic industry?
Tell him, Big Mark.
What's it got to be Big Mark for?
Okay, little guy. Go ahead and tell him, little buddy.
Oh, that's much better. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anytime, little buddy.
No, I got a gig for with Ape Entertainment back in the day, and there was a spot open for Ape Omnibus. It's like a 12-page story, and I needed an artist. So I went through a few people, and I thought I found one, and then he decided that he would rather do porn comics instead. So he backed out, and I think Anthony answered an ad on Digital Webbing or something like that. And we hooked up. We had a conversation on the phone and clicked, and that was it. We've been attached at the hip since 2004.
I assume with the toys in the background, you've always been a comic fan?
Yes.
Yes.
He's lying.
Definitely.
He just got into comics last week.
Last week.
We got Dexter Weeks in the chat. What's up, Dexter?
What's
Dexter,
going on, Dexter?
Colorist for Viking Wolf.
Cool, man. Viking Wolf looks good, bro.
Oh, thank you. Amanda says Tupperware for life. Yeah, she calls me a Tupperware influencer because of my my cups.
A vast array of Tupperware collection.
So Anthony, was your start with Marcus the start of your career, or you'd been working before that?
I got fired from this porn comic, and apparently they got somebody better to replace me, and I stumbled into I talked to the guy. I was like, hey, and he's like, listen, there's this other gig you can go try out for. It's not as good as porn, but it's good. And I made the phone call, and it was Marcus was on the other end. And that's where I started, man. I was what was it? I think it was Digital Webbing. Digital Webbing used to have the little pages there, the way you could go, and they'd have writers looking for artists looking for writers, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I guess it was from there. And then I think the following year we wound up hooking up at Chicago, in Wizard World Chicago, because the first book we did together was for Ape Entertainment. A guy named Brent Irwin ran it, and they had a booth and there, the whole, actually they had a little 10x10 booth and everything, and had us come over there and work the table and shit like that, and it was cool, man. I think after that it was definitely like, this is what I want to do. So
now you guys originally published Justice City Chronicles through Ape Entertainment. I remember I was at a Baltimore Comic Con.
That's right.
And I purchased the first issue.
Dude, what
year was that?
It had to have been 05.
Probably 2005.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. So I wasn't even there as a pro. I didn't start working in the industry until 2006. So I was just there as a fan. I remember seeing.
That's crazy, man.
Like I think you guys got some coverage on like some of the comic sites, because I remember seeing the cover.
It was good.
On some of the news. Yeah, and when I
it,
I was like, oh wow, I've seen this before, and I picked it up.
It had good, like I said, man. It was a good time. That was like probably the last kind of, I guess, because by the time I came back, I don't know what happened between 2006 and 2012. I don't know what happened. I was completely out of the scene at that point. But in 2005, it was really like the last of the Mohicans, man, because it was like Wizard was still Wizard, right? And it was still just a comic book. Like if you went there, anybody who'd ever been to those cons knows, if you went to Artist Alley, it was all comic book artists who were trying to make comics. There weren't print vendors. It was just straight comic book stuff. And you had the publishers were still showing up. DC was there, Marvel was there. You had Arcana, Devil's Due, and Antarctic had just popped up, Ape Entertainment. So you had all of these smaller guys who were competing, and it was a good time. It was still a good time to get into comics. And I remember the book got really good reception for when it came out. And I don't know. It was. I remember that. If it weren't for Katrina, who knows what would have happened? Katrina and alcoholism.
I'm surprised you remember it.
That's all. Like I remember him posting, like, I got this book. I was like, get out of here. That's fucking killer, man. You know?
Yeah. So when I broke in 2006, actually, Dexter, who's doing Viking Wolf with me, we did a book, Coney Waves, through Arcana, and back then it seemed like the comic sites were eager to like promote small publisher guys. Like I even had a brief, I guess, flirtation with Wizard. They took me out to dinner, and they were like, "Yeah, you're the type of person we want to promote in our books." And they were saying like they wanted me to write a guest article, and they wanted to do features on Coney Waves. I was like, "Oh, this sounds fantastic." And then like after a couple of weeks of not hearing them, I called the person that took me out to dinner. I said, "Hey, when was this going to start?" And they said, "Oh, well, your advertising check hasn't come in yet." I was like, "What? I have to pay for this?" And I was like, "Oh, now I realize how Wizard magazine works."
It was. Let me tell you something. It was, if I can remember correct, because by the time I got there, they'd already kind of started to sprout up. But it had to be within a couple of years of, say, 2000, where these guys started popping. Because prior to that, my understanding was that you could still go to conventions and get work straight off conventions. Like you could bring portfolios right to, and get work from Marvel, DC, from Dark Horse, and you could do that. And then I think they got burned a bunch of times. And then what happened was, as the rise of like Arcana, Devil's Due, like all these cats started coming up, it shifted a little bit, and they kind of wanted you to then go do an issue or two with these guys to prove you could hit a deadline, to prove you could put stuff out, and then also maybe build your own fan base to bring to them. They wanted you to show up. And but it was still good, because like you're saying, it was still a community. Like it was still everybody, like it was still its own thing. It hadn't been, and I don't know, I'm sure there's better words, but it hadn't been tarnished by the world yet. Like the world hadn't gotten into comics yet. You know, it was still the people who loved comics. Those were the people who made up the community. Those were the people who made up the industry. It wasn't until you get this hit between, like I said, between maybe 2006 and 2012, you start to see this shift. And then the next time, because by the next time I come, I don't go to, I think 6 was the last time me and Marcus made a convention. We made Wizard World Austin. By the time I got back, it was Wizard World New Orleans. And by that time, it already started to shift into an expo. Publishers weren't going anymore. And it already started to move into that. Print vendors were all over the place. You started getting more merchandising than actual comic books. And then by the time you got to like 14, 15, it was just, these were expos now. And it was hard to find, like Heroes Con, from what I understand, is still a straight comic book convention. It's old school comic book convention. And those started to be phased out. But it was, at one time, it was cool, man, because the industry was about making comic books. That's what the industry was about. Yeah,
it was fun times back then. They really did seem to go through. Well, I mean, there's no Comic Cons going on right now. Every now and then I see someone post pictures.
I know, I get jealous. I'm like, where's this at? Where's this at?
But yeah, I noticed, man, probably like 2007, I guess, the publishers stopped coming to Wizard World. There's still pretty good presence at Baltimore Comic Con. I haven't been to Heroes yet. That's one convention I'd like to check out. We got Mo Biggs in the chat. What's
Big
up, Mo?
Mo?
Thanks for joining
us.
Mo
Biggs, the hardest working man in the chats, bro. What's happening, Mo?
So you kind of hinted at it. Was Katrina the reason that Justice City Chronicles stopped?
I would say Katrina was a huge reason for that, because, you know, we had the book dropped in, I think it was officially dropping in October. Is what it was, because we had gone through Diamond and the whole thing. So I had it all locked. Like we were making conventions, doing pre-sales and conventions, and then we got into previews, distributed through Diamond, and I had it set up to do like all this like Gulf Coast thing, where I was going to hit all these shops and all this stuff. Marcus was going to do stuff in New York. We were going to come visit each other and stuff like that and do shows, and then really hit the scene. And then Katrina hit, dude, and just wiped out the coast and everything. But, you know, for me, Katrina was a serious turning point in my life, because Katrina kind of just escalated what problem which had already existed, but sent me way off the reservation into a fucking a spiral, and trying to hang on, trying to make this happen. You just can't. I don't know. Like I said, I was off the reservation from like 05 to about 12, I guess. Because I guess we made that was the last one we made was in 06. We went to one more in 06, and then I was supposed to move up to Jersey is what it was. That's what it was. I was supposed to move to Jersey, and for whatever reason that fell apart. And so I spiraled out of control at that point. And it's hard. It's hard to continue to make, comics, man, when you're drunk all the time and loaded and stuff. So, it's fun that, listen, I try not to tell the story because I don't want people to get all fucking like depressed and shit, because I'm here now. It's all good, bro. Whatever happened then, we can laugh and joke about it now. But that played a tremendous part in that, because we hung on for a couple of years. I think it was finally in 09, I think, is when both of us just gave up. If I could say that, Marcus, I think in 09 is when we both gave up, and we both were just like, this is, I've had enough at this point, Yes or no, Mark?
Well, by 09, yeah, I'd say by 09.
Well, when you left New Orleans, I'm pretty sure, because then he came to New Orleans. Then my crazy insano alcoholism was like, it would be a great idea for you to come here, right? In the wake of Katrina, this would be great. We'll rebuild. And he put up with that for about 9 months, and then he was like, I'm done. I'm never doing comics ever again. And he went home and he bought a pizza, Paul.
I was like, I can't take comics anymore. It's on to pizza for me.
Comics will break your heart, kid. Fuck.
Hey, man, if there's one backup plan that sounds amazing, it's owning a pizza place. That's my two loves, pizza and comics.
How can you go wrong?
You did it.
So I'm getting called out in the chat for being stingy with my wrenches. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna give out some wrenches. I'll just turn off my camera. But if you guys could tell me how you reconnected and decided, now is the time to bring Justice City Chronicles back.
Okay. I would say that we probably didn't talk a lot that first year that Marcus went to Jersey. Probably didn't talk a lot. Let's see. I got sober in 2010. And I believe I had to make amends to Marcus at some point. So either the end of 10 or the beginning of 11, we reconnected so I could make amends to him for, all of the shitty things I had done. And I think, him and I always hit it off. So I think it probably hurt him to see me, in the condition that I was in. And then now that I wasn't like that anymore, I think he was happy about that. And I think, and then we just kind of stayed into communications for the next couple of years. I think I made a few conventions here and there doing like print stuff, but it was actually in 2016 that someone who had seen my prints and stuff said, hey, look, I want to make a movie, but I'd like to make it into a comic book first. It's called The Chronicles of Count Carlos. And he said, I want you to draw it. So he brings me in. These two guys don't know what they're doing. So I said, well, let me bring in my guy and let him be the editor, the letterer, and the overall kind of making sure this thing looks good. Because Justice City Chronicles, Marcus did everything. Marcus, he built the websites, he built the layouts, the promo stuff and all that stuff. So I knew he had an eye for it. So I brought him in, got him a little gig and shit. And, for me doing that, because then it came, we crowdfunded it, and on Kickstarter it came out in 17, and I was like, I don't know, man, it made me realize this is what I'm supposed to be doing, like not drawing prints, not doing shit like this, but telling stories. I'm a storyteller. This is what I want to do. And at that point in time, it was like the two dudes fumbled the ball on the book. They didn't do anything with it. They didn't do anything with it, so it fell apart. And so I was just like, okay. But then I was like, well, I just was a part of a Kickstarter campaign. I just did a book. Why don't I just do my own thing? So I start examining all of this stuff. Meantime, Zach pops off. All of this stuff pops off. You know what I mean? And opportunity comes my way for this book called God's Hand. And guy, you know, it just fate, the way fate works, man. It really was. Guy, I ran into this dude. Dude was like, we want to do a news piece on you, because I was donating artwork to this town for an auction. And they were like, you know, we want to do a news piece on you. The little dude said, well, do you have any stories about New Orleans? And I said, no, I don't. So can you make one? And I said, sure, man. So I start making this story, and I start making a trailer for like all of this stuff, bro. And all of a sudden I'm like, dude, this story's really got legs, man. This story really has something. And so opportunity was there. And I said, you know what? This is it. This is the moment. And I just took a shot and did it. I brought Marcus in to help me with the lettering, with the layouts and stuff, and just stuff like that. And it was just like, by the time we finished God's Hand, and God's Hand looked at the way it looked good, bro. It printed good. Everybody liked, everything was good about it. It was just like, look, man, this is time. It's time for cats like us to make another shot, to take another shot at it. We felt like we was in a good place. So we kind of, you know, talked about 2 projects. We ended up agreeing on this one. And we said, yeah, let's bring it back where we started. This is what we started with. Let's bring this back. Let's put this out and relaunch this thing, man. Because we feel really good about this, you know, because we back in the day, like I said, when it was out back in the day, it got really good. You know, people liked it. They liked the way it looked. They liked the way it read. You know what I'm saying? So we were like, well, let's do this again, man.
Everybody except me.
Yeah,
artists are always like that. Whether you're a writer or whether you're an artist.
It's kind of similar to me and John. We launched, we started working on Graveyard Shift back in 2010, 2011. We launched an ash can at Wizard World Philly, and we just had setback after setback. But we always, you know, we always told each other we're going to get back to this and we're going to release it, and then the stars just aligned in, I guess, 2017, and it was meant to be. Like originally, Rob Liefeld was said he was going to get us published through Image because he was a big fan of the book. Didn't work out, and I'm so glad it didn't work out, because
I know, huh?
yeah, the success we're having now, I don't think would have ever happened back then. Just the way the comic industry is, especially for indies. Indies, you're lucky if you're making your money back.
You are. I just want to give a shout out to Mark Wade. Thank you, Mark Wade. You really helped us all out. So
yeah, the best marketing person in Comicsgate, Mark Wade.
Wouldn't be here without you, babe.
So I'm going to bring up the Justice City Chronicles page. Before we start talking about it, should I play the video first?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think so.
Great trailer.
Thank you. I have to say, I think at this point, like once the campaign is done, the one thing I will not miss from it is watching this trailer.
So did Marcus, did you do the trailer?
Yes. This is my second attempt at a trailer.
No, I thought it was great. Good job.
Actually, it was my third attempt at a trailer. The first attempt at a trailer got Anthony roasted by John Malin.
Yes, we went on.
Oh.
I was on John's. Yeah,
I remember that.
You remember that? And they played it, and it was like just the smoke, and it was like just a city. This and John's like, where's the trailer? I'm like, well, it's the teaser to the trailer, man. You know.
Yeah, John could be rough.
Nah, it was good, but it's good though. It wasn't. It was like, you know, it wasn't bad. John wasn't bad. You know, he made a joke out of it, and I think, you know, if I would have taken it bad, you know what I'm saying, it could have been bad. Yeah. But it was like, you know, it's a funny joke, because then I think there was like me and the other guy were up for the worst trailer. And John was like, yeah, I was about to give it to that guy, but then there was words, and then I was like, why? Because he had words? I'm like, Jesus Christ, John, you know, have some standards over here, you know. And we just made a little joke out of it. And then Marcus was like, wow, I'll fucking show him. Watch this, make a fucking trailer. Damn
no,
it.
I've been friends with John for about 16 years, and when I put my campaign page together, I put it together thinking John is looking over my shoulder, because I know because. Even though we're friends, I know he'll be brutal.
Which you need that sometimes. I mean, you know, you want somebody to be honest with you. You don't want people to blow smoke up your ass. It looks good. It's good.
You need one brutal friend.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why Marcus keeps me around.
So Marcus, what can you tell us about Justice City Chronicles?
What would you like to know?
Give us a without giving away spoilers. Tell us as much as you can about the story.
It follows Nero, our main character, right there in the middle. He's about to graduate from the Praetorian Academy. Well, you probably know this because you've read it before. But so it follows him through the stages, getting through the Praetorian Academy, and leads into his first mission as part of the Centurions, which is a new group. And things go horribly wrong for him. Anthony usually has a much more deeper, you know, meta description of what goes on, but that's the long and short of it.
I really like the character designs on the characters. They all look awesome.
Yeah, we definitely put a lot of work into them. Anthony as well. But yeah, I mean, coming back to it now after doing it once in 2005, and now it's like it's kind of this weird spot where it's like, oh hey, we don't have to have them dressed in the same stuff anymore. I remember him telling me that we were working on some pages, and he's like, you know, I just started thinking, why are they dressed like this? And I'm like, well, they don't have to be. And he was like, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I've been like married to this property for so long. I'm like, oh, I could do some different stuff now.
So I saw that it was 80 pages. Is that how it was always intended to be, or did the story grow through the years?
Yeah.
It's weird because I think in 06, when we were in Chicago in 06, we sat down and in a night we kind of plotted out the entire story, it's an epic story. It's meant to be a huge ass story. And we had mapped it out and we just never wrote it down. So I
think we did actually.
We may have written something. Look, don't get me wrong. I think we wrote some things down, some stuff.
I wasn't that drunk.
Because
I did jot some stuff down.
Right. But what it was is when we came back to it, you kind of looked at the story and then it was like, okay, we knew where it had went in the directions and whatnot. But we were trying to figure out how did we piece.
Anthony, hold on.
What's that?
Mo, I mean, if you're going to roast me, at least spell my name right. I mean, come on, bro. Really?
He was trying to be good about it. Like, he was trying to spell your name like the Greek name, like, you know, the master trailer.
Oh, yeah, that's what he was doing.
Marcius, Bigius. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know where you wanted to go, but you start going, well, but how did we tie these together? Like, how did he go from here to here? What was the linchpin? What was the conflict that drove him into this situation? How did this conflict then tie into the overall resolution? And you start going, okay, well, like Marcus said, it's funny. You start doing it and you go, okay, well, you find yourself locked into shit that you don't need to be. You have the key, right? You don't have to be in this cage. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, let's make this guy his dad. Let's change this to this. Let's do that. Let's just kind of alter the internal heart of it and move it in this direction here.
Let's change the entire story.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
So that, which, you know what I'm saying? So we wound up taking the main character, who's Nero, who I think was Blitz in the original one, but he's still, what's happening, Eddie? He's still the main character, and we just turned this first arc into a because it's like, what is it, 8 volumes, Marcus?
Yeah, we got 8.
It's like 8 volumes, right? So this one is just basically the catalyst, the jumping off point to put you directly into the fray.
Very cool. So how far along are you on the book?
What would you say, 65, 70?
60. Yeah, I'll go 60. I've lied to him about a couple of pages, so it's 60.
60 pages or 60%?
60%.
Okay.
I told him 60 pages, but that's why he thinks it's 70, but it's more like 60.
Either one is pretty good progress for the campaign. You should be fulfilling pretty quick. Shouldn't be that much of a wait for the backers.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
You want to go through the tiers?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. Featured tier is God's Justice.
That is our featured tier. It comes with a copy of Justice City Chronicles, obviously, and a copy of God's Hand, if you did not previously pick that up. It also comes with a metal bookmark that kind of looks like a sword in that picture.
That is awesome. I was wondering what that was. I was thinking maybe it was like a letter opener, but
no,
metal.
That's one of these.
Yeah. Oh, let me make you a solo layout. Show that off.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Wow.
That looks great.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Grunt Pack, $25.
It's just the book. It's just the book.
30 Corporal Signature Edition.
That's the book, your choice of covers, and the bookmark.
$30 Geared for War.
That's the shirt.
Sergeant Stripes, $50.
That's two copies of the book, whichever covers you prefer, metal bookmark, and a trading card.
Nice. $75 Sergeant Major.
Gets you all 3 covers, the metal bookmark, the trading card, and a print, which I also have, actually.
Awesome.
There we go. All kinds of stuff here. Officers Edition. That's the 3 copies of the book, 2 metal bookmarks, 2 trading cards, plus the print.
Captain's Club. This looks awesome.
Okay, so the Captain's Club is the box set. You get all 3 covers. You get the 4 trading card set. You get the print. What was it? Was it metal bookmark? No, the metal trading card, 3 sketch cards, the T-shirt, and the dog tag, and they come in this sexy box.
Wow,
that looks great. Awesome.
Yeah, my greasy fingerprints on it.
Can you please polish that box?
And then $250 the Grand Admiral's deck.
So that is everything that was in the previous tier. But in addition, you get original piece of art. You get what was it? The hardcover edition of the book. This is the only one that you get in the hardcover edition. You also get the 2 trading cards from God's Hand, the Death Tarot card from God's Hand, and 3 original sketch cards with artwork from Anthony before he gets on my ass about it.
Wow, that's a loaded tier.
Yes.
500, Hand of the Emperor.
Hand of the Emperor. All 3 copies of the book, plus a copy of God's Hand, plus the this one we're going to give out the hardcover as well. You get a sketch cover copy of the Chronicles of Count Carlos. You get a sketch cover copy of Justice City, as well as a sketch cover copy of God's Hand, plus 2 sketch cards. All the sketches are done, obviously, by Anthony. You get the T-shirt, the dog tag, and it comes in our sexy box.
And then you already sold out of the Emperor's Throne.
Yes, that was day 1.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was like that was all the covers of God's Hand, and you got drawn in the book as well.
Oh, that's nice. Amanda says, oh, where'd they? I lost her.
Almost out of work. I think that's what she said.
Oh,
the one you talking about?
No, she said, careful talking about sexy boxes on Mark's channel.
Oh, that was Mo said that. That was right above okay. Amanda. I know.
All right.
I have a hard time finding that shit myself.
Yeah.
I was gonna say also hard talking about that hard cover you got there, brother.
So hard covers and sexy boxes, that's how we do it.
Bam, baby.
Yeah.
Wolfpack for life.
We can't have too much sexy talk on my stream or it'll get taken down.
Oh my goodness.
So
I'm just gonna mute myself now, Mark.
So the campaign's going really well. What were your thoughts compared to God's Hand?
Oh man, 2 different animals. God's Hand was me pretty much by myself, but I had funded by the time I came into CG, I was already funded. So I had ran the campaign kind of. I mean, I grinded, man. I tell people, I grinded. If you want to know what a grind is, grind through the groups in Facebook to fund your book. You want to talk about a grind, bro?
Yeah.
And I grinded that out. I was making phone calls. I was putting out flyers on the streets. I was going into. I made posters like 11 by 17s with the God's Hand logo on it, and I made some QR codes and put them in the corner. I was putting them into PJs. I was putting them anywhere where I could put them around the city. I had them all over the place, and grinded that out. Got funded. Set the goal at 10. Got the 10. By the time I came into Comicsgate, I think I was at 11.6 or whatever, and then I grinded in Comicsgate, and I think I walked with 18, almost 19. You know, so it was weird, man, because it was like it was 2 different. It was like rolling in 2 different worlds, you know. Or it was like this campaign was more traditional. Launch out the pre-launch page, grind out the signups, then you start. It was a little more cohesive.
Yeah.
Than the God's Hand was. God's Hand was just a free for all, man.
Well, you got another backer while we were here.
Oh, thank you, Vaughn.
Thank you.
Killer, man. Thank you, brother.
So you're ever closer to 14.
Yeah, so some of the stretch goals, I think I saw them at the bottom of the page. Let's go through some of them. Here we go. So at $7,000, you guys unlocked a trading card. $10,000, 10 extra pages added to the book. 12,000, 2 new trading cards included with every order. 13,000 upgraded trading cards. And 14,000 is an exclusive metal bookmark. There's just a ton of swag coming with this.
Yeah. I mean, man, as well as I do, Mark. You're competing. I mean, you shouldn't. Let me put it. In my mind, I am competing against the likes of John Malin, Ethan Van Sciver, Shane Davis, Diane Fraga, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're trying to make sure that you're offering to the best of your ability. You do what you can do. These same type of perks that again get people excited about crowdfunding. I mean, that's the whole point. You know, yeah, you could go buy these books on eBay and just wait for them to come out. Sure, you could go buy them where, you know, off of websites and stuff like this, but you're not going to get the stretch goals. You're not going to get the exclusives. This is part of the process. So you want this to be an experience. You want these people to feel like, wow, I want to get in on this, you know, and get these cool exclusives, you know, and that's to me, that's the experience of it, you know?
So the 10 extra pages added to the book, are you able to say what that is? Is it like behind the scenes stuff?
Yeah, so it's behind the scenes stuff for the rest, for basically definitely volume 2, but for some of the future stuff. So it's like all future character designs, future vehicle designs, future mech designs, like stuff like that, bios and stuff like that. Because I mean, that's the one thing we want people to realize, that what you're getting into is a major ride, and we want you to understand that this is going to be big. You know, so you want to get in and start learning about this stuff, because we want people to be like, wow, we want people to feel as excited about it as we are. You know what I mean? So if we can give you all this extra cool stuff so you can read this and go, wow, this is awesome. Look at this dude. Who's this guy with this missing eye and this thing here and this claw hand? Like, who is this? Man, I want to know. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to know, and I want to see more. You know what I mean? He looks like he can kick ass. You know?
Is it a claw hand or a ginger root hand?
His name is C. I'm just going to put it like this. His name is C. He's got a C clamp for a hand. So no, that's in God's Hand, volume 2. The main villain is the Bogan. So, and he unlocks the dead with his weird looking hand.
So how many days are left in the campaign? Is it 4?
4, I believe.
Yeah. So
is it 4 or is it 3?
No, I think it's 4. Well, you got today. Well, you got today.
Yeah.
3
Thursday,
days left.
Friday and Saturday. Well, if you, I mean, you got all of today, all of tomorrow, all of Friday, and all of Saturday. So is that correct? I mean, that's right, Marcus? I mean, that's what they told you, right?
That's what they told me.
So there's still plenty of time. I think all these other stretch goals: $15,000, the Nero Ghost print, $16,000, the exclusive Volume 2 character trading card, and $20,000, another additional 10 pages added to the book. I think all of these are attainable.
I think so.
I do too.
The 20 is up there, but I think we could swing that one.
Oh, and I'm going to say this as well, because and he's going to think I'm bullshitting, but I'm also competing. And again, when I say competing, I mean friendly competition, steel sharpens steel. I'm also competing against Eddie Winkler, because Eddie Winkler is putting out a hell of a product. Eddie Winkler put out a hell of a campaign, man. It definitely will make you look at his campaign and go, I better bring my A game to this party, because you got guys out here who are busting ass to do a good job. Eddie's one of them. You know, so are you, Mark. Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm saying. We compete against you as well, but not, like I said, in a way where it's like I'm looking at you guys going, what are you guys doing, man? Because I got to make sure I'm bringing at least that to the table. I can't come to the table with anything less than that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got steel sharpen steel. I believe that, and I think you guys are doing a hell of a job as well.
Yeah, no, I saw Eddie on Leroy's stream a couple of weeks ago, and he was showing off the custom boxes he had made, and I was getting a little jealous, and I was I need to step up my game.
I was getting jealous too, but I remembered our boxes have custom grease fingerprints on them. You can't get that anywhere else.
You can't get those taco grease fingerprints anywhere else.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I felt good about it.
So you guys mentioned I think 8 volumes planned for Justice City Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What's next for you guys? Are you diving right back into Justice City Chronicles, or you have other things in the works?
Okay, so I'm probably going to be working on doing our own show. Getting the website done, fulfilling this project, and then waiting for Anthony to start giving me God's Hand 2 stuff to work on.
Right. because that's what as soon as I'm done with this, I'm hopping back into God's Hand, and I want that ready to go for October for Halloween launch. I want to launch that and then Halloween. So that's what I'm going to. Which also, by the way, if you didn't get God's Hand on the first campaign, you can get it through this campaign. However, once this campaign goes into in demand, God's Hand will no longer be an add-on. We're pulling it from the campaign. So if you want God's Hand, make sure you get it while the campaign's live. You got 4 days, because after that, you won't be able to get it off this campaign anymore. But that's what I'm going into.
Mo Big says God's Hand too. God's other hand.
the Revenge of the Root Hand is what it's called.
So we're a little over 45 minutes. Is there anything else you would like the people in the chat or anyone watching later to know about Justice City Chronicles?
Just to let everybody know, when the campaign is over and we go into in demand, a lot of the stuff is coming down. So if you want the stuff included in some of the higher tiers, within the next 3 days would probably be the time to do it, because the hardcover for one will not be available once the campaign's done. So just getting everybody on board with that.
Anthony, anything else you'd like to add?
God's Hand in Justice City Chronicles are probably two of the greatest books I've ever read in my life. And I think you would be doing, I haven't read Sovereign Wolf or Sea Dog yet, so I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a lot of ground to cover. But these two books, I think that, and I've said this before, with the way that the world has been treating us this last, 3 or 4 years, I think you deserve it. I think that you owe it to yourself to put these two books into your life and into your heart, and also I may die soon, so you may want to get these books now with my signature on it, because once I die, you won't get my signature anymore, but it'll be more valuable. I haven't been to the doctor in a couple of years, so I don't know if I'm dying, but it's possible. Chance, right? Possible. It's very possible. So
don't go. They might make you give up caffeine.
I eat a lot of crawfish and high cholesterol foods and stuff. I don't smoke crack anymore, so that's good. But who knows what damage was done? So I would recommend, please get on this and buy these two books now, before it's too late.
Are you I'm just curious. Like, is this going to be like a regular thing? Are you going to Are you going to threaten the audience with your own death?
How dare you say that, sir? Threaten the audience? I'm offering the deal of a lifetime. I would hardly call that threatening. Jesus, I can't believe you went there, man. I am just letting these people know that it is a possibility that I could possibly die. All right? And I'm just trying to offer them the ability to go ahead and buy in now. Mo Biggs gets it, damn it. How dare you say that on the Moral Compass Mark Poulton show? I can't believe this, man. I'm sorry, Mark. I apologize.
Oh, it's quite all right. This has been an entertaining 40-some minutes. Before we wrap this up, though, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to share I have one other book out there. If I can bring it up real quick, Graveyard Shift Volume 3. We only have 10 days left. We do not go in demand. We're at $105,000. This is our variant campaign. Interior artist Aaron Alfeche has done variant covers for us for Volume 3, as well as Supplemental Book 2. If you put them together, they're connecting covers. It forms pretty much all the main players going on in the Graveyard Shift universe. We got the core 4 of Graveyard Shift, and then our 2 new characters, Nightwalker and Runer, who play a very big part in the story that we're telling. As well, we have Graveyard Shift Visions. This is basically our swimsuit edition book. Got the Too Hot for YouTube cover by Kenneth Rocafort. Got my stream taken down. Got John's thumbnail taken down.
So crazy.
Little Graveyard Shift, which just doesn't get enough love. Wholesome Graveyard Shift fun for the whole family, written by me and my son Chase. And then for people who are jumping on board for the first time, we still have the collected edition, which combines books 1 and 2. This is the same cover, no variant for this one, but this will get you all caught up on Graveyard Shift. Like I said, only 10 days to go. I appreciate all the support. I say it all the time, but when John and I first launched the first volume, we never expected it to be this big. So thank you. You make it possible for me to do other books like U.S. Assassin and Sea Dog and Viking Wolf. So thank you so much.
Very nice.
Thank you. So
I see that comment down there, Anthony, by the way.
That's a true comment. That's a very, that's from the heart, bro. You know what I mean?
Let's see how you're turning them against me.
Hurt, bro. You turn them against yourself by being that way, bro. You know what I mean? You question a dying man, and that's just unacceptable in CG, bro. It will not be tolerated. I can tell you that.
Amanda says she thinks she's seen you guys on everything this week. Where else will you be?
Oh, you got that?
I wrote it down somewhere.
Amanda, we will be on Phil Diaz at 8:30 Eastern tonight, and then after Phil, we may pop on Piper's show. I know tomorrow we'll be with Wyatt Holiday, who does Eternal Armor, did a hell of a job with that, at 8 p.m. Eastern. Friday, which would be a big day, we'll be on Wise Guy's show at 7 p.m. We'll be on Mandy Summers. Marcus will start out on Mandy Summers at 9 p.m. I, at 9 p.m., will be going on with Big Joe Sonntag. Is that how you pronounce his last name? How you pronounce that, Mark?
Sontag.
Sontag. I'll be on with Big Joe Sontag. And then when I finish up with him, I'm going to bounce over to Mandy with Mark. And we're going to have some fun and some laughs. And then Saturday, which will be the big day, the last day, we're going to recreate what we did when we opened everything up. We're going to start out with Literature Devil in the morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Then after that, we're going to move over to Morning Roast with Sugar, Chris, and Sim. We'll be on there till who knows. And then after that, we're supposed to show up with Shay, Zombie. And then we're going to close out on Bancroft. And if everything goes well after that, who knows? We might hook up with the Crack Pack and Lord Finatra and just cut up all night. Who knows? Who knows? Mark might be there. The Moral Compass might be there. Who knows, man?
You never know. So you guys have your work cut out for you. You are busy all week.
Got to, man. Like I said, you got to.
Yes, sir.
So besides pretty much every stream coming up, Marcus, where else can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter. It's MDJesu1. And for what I lack in social media, Anthony more than makes up for it. Anthony, go.
You can find me on Twitter, Kid Destructo 1, Anthony Figaro. You can find me on Facebook, Kid Destructo or Anthony Figaro. You can find me on Instagram, Anthony Figaro. You can find me on LinkedIn. Let's see, YouTube. What is this? Tinder. Fishing for Hoes. I'm on that one too. I'm under Antonio on that one though. You'll have to look up Antonio for that one. But any of the social media sites that you go to, I try to have a presence everywhere. So, but mainly I'm on. You can find for this crew, look me up on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, or if you'd like, you can go straight over to www.kiddestructo.com. You can subscribe over there, get all the deals that we send out, and find out where I'm going to be and who I'm going to be with. So there you go.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton, hit the notifications, and I'll be back tomorrow for the Best Friends show at 6:00 with Sean Arendt from Ott and Stuff and Phil McNulty. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Thanks
brother.
for having us.
Definitely,
yeah, no
man.
problem. And everyone, make sure you back Justice City Chronicles. It looks awesome. I've been a fan for 16 years. So
he's got to be the oldest fan we got, bro. Serious, man. I find that awesome, Mark. I really do, man.
Yeah, no, I was excited when I saw it pop up. I was like, wait, wait a minute, I know this book. So
It tripped me out, bro. I was like, that's cool as shit, man. Serious business.
So everyone, it comes with the Moral Compass's highest approval.
There you go.
So make sure you check it out.
There you go.
And thanks for joining us.